Oh, hello Libra. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Libra is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Libra, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, we've got Emperor energy. You are in boss mode right now. I feel like if there is anything going on in your life right now is going to benefit from your leadership, okay? I feel like you're somebody that doesn't really like to be the leader. You don't really want to be in charge, unless it's fun, you know. But I feel like you're a very good leader. It just takes a lot to sort of convince you to do it because you kind of like just being part of the team. I think you like interacting with people, and you like sort of you like the connections between people, but not necessarily the connection of, hey, I'm your boss and you got to listen to me, you know. Then again, you know, I think you could learn to like it, you know, maybe. But you're very, you have a lot of good ideas. You have a very commanding personality right now. For some reason, I feel you're very much in your confidence right now, you know. And I think people listen to you. I think people want to be led by you, you know. And I feel that you have I'm seeing the words clear vision. So maybe it is that you kind of, you know the way forward here, that you have the right stuff, baby, you know? And this is what the group needs, is you to sort of stand up and tell everybody that you know. It's like you figured it out. Why are you keeping it to yourself? Yeah. Let's put this into some context. We need some more cards to see what really is going on here. And we got the Moon card. Okay. All right. Moon card is some uncertainty. We have a Four of Wands. We have a Prince of Cups, some fixed water energy. Yeah. We got the Seven, the Seven of Wands. I'm chuckling because it's kind of something that the Emperor kind of goes through. It's like, I know I could get it done, but it's a lot of work. You know, and I kind of feel that's like the vibe right now, where it's just like, can somebody else do it? Like, and it's just like, all right, fine, I'll get up, I'll do it, you know. But I think secretly you want to do it. You know, you want that satisfaction of being the one that figured out how to get through this situation. I don't know what situation you're in, okay, but I think that you've got the solution here. You're the one that can bring everybody together and figure out kind of the way to solve this, right? I wonder if you do you like the true crime or detective stories? I kind of feel like that's your thing right now. That you kind of like you can solve all those things so quickly, but you wouldn't actually want to be out doing it. I feel like you watch those shows or those documentaries and things, and from the very beginning, you know who done it, you know. And maybe even watching movies or something, like from the first 5 minutes, you're like, it was that person. You know, you're very good at it. You have a mind for it, but you don't really want to be out there doing it, you know? Anyway, let's keep going. I feel like right now you are doing it though, or something like that. Here's some fixed fire energy now with the Prince of Wands over here. A Five of Wands. Yeah, you're doing something. Okay, anytime we have a 4, we start looking for the 5, right? And so we have this kind of thing. It's down beneath the surface. Says, yeah, I could do it, but it's a lot of work. Okay, fine. Here, this is you getting up and doing it, right? A 5 of Wands, or we're taking action, right? And the Fool is in the position of the difficulty. And we've got the Princess of Swords. So sometimes there's a little bit of a doubt, right, in your own abilities. And I think Spirit really right now is saying you trust in your abilities. Trust that you know, right, what you need to know. Because sometimes with the Princess of Swords, we start to doubt our own efficacy. We start to question whether or not we are smart enough to do it, you know? You are. You definitely are. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, if I don't drop them all. And we're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Danny, a.k.a. Tortuga, right there on top. No, it's not Danny. Carrie, I know what you're thinking. It's the other Danny, okay? We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but we'll tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, if you know what it is, write it down in the comments. Okay, let's make it interactive. You know, let's engage with each other and let's have a little fun. Okay, let's look around the room. The fun is your difficulty. I think this is kind of the hard part. Is you know, it's not fun to be the emperor, right? So there's a conflict between the Fool and the Emperor. You know, very different energies. We've got these three as our major arcana, and it's kind of like it's the Emperor, the Moon, and the Fool, and it's almost like this is the situation one that is going to lead to your freedom. It's going to lead to you transcending, leveling up, a new journey, new path. This is really you're volatilizing the fixed here. That you're moving into a different realm. Okay, this is sort of beginning a new life, right? It's also, I think, having a little fun. And I wonder if the Emperor can't really see through. This is darkness. You can't see through the darkness. But on the other side, it's going to be a lot of fun. So it's almost like you're reluctant to do this because it's going to be a lot of work. But what you don't know right now is that there is a lot of joy coming through this activity, this work that you're doing. And in the situation now, because you've got this Moon card right across the Emperor is kind of saying, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to lead here because I can't see where we're going. I'm not confident that I can get us through this dark forest. So there's a situation going on right now that it's kind of difficult to see how to get out of it. It's difficult to see what's on the other side. Okay, whatever it could be. It could be work, school, family, friends, spirituality, could be whatever, romance, you know, I don't know. It's difficult to see what's on the other side. Now, we got our 1, 2, 3 court cards, so I do feel that there are other people involved here, whether they're family members, whether it's you and like your spouse, but there's some friends too, or there's some kids involved, or it's coworkers or something like that. But I feel that there's it's more than just you and another person. So, you know, it's 2 or more other people, I guess. We got our majors. We've got certainly a lot of fire, 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 fire. So the name of the game, the emphasis of the reading is something about your actions. Okay? Very heavy on the fire energy. That tells me that the reading, your situation right now is about you stepping up. It's about your will. It's about your creativity. It's about your attention and your leadership, right? It's about your ability to take action, to take the initiative, okay? That's the name of the game. That's gonna get you to success right now, is by you doing those things, okay? We see a very little bit of water over here. We see a very little bit of air up here. And we see a very little bit of earth right here, okay? So the fire, I feel like your heart and your mind and your body are going to get in line, but you've got to invoke the Emperor. You've got to get the fire. You've got to get charged up. You've got to invoke your enthusiasm, your creative force and fire. We need the sort of wake up call, right? And I wonder if this is even, because, you know, sometimes we get those mystery cards, we get those doorway cards, the major arcana. Sometimes it feels as if the reading, the cards that we have out on the table, all of these cards are showing us the inside of another card. You ever notice that? I mention it sometimes. I feel like this is kind of the inside of the Eon Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire card. Okay? Because it's kind of like we're at the threshold of this doorway. We know it's going to be difficult. We know it's going to be hard work. And we're having a little bit of a little bit of doubt as to our own efficiency or our own abilities, okay, which we've got to work over that. We recognize that there's a need for a decision, there's a need for a team effort here, but it really comes down to your choice. You're choosing to walk through this doorway to, I think, this Fool card, to this transcendence, to this fresh start, this new beginning. It's kind of like this is us really sailing over to better shores, right? Really going where the grass is greener. You know, we're moving to better pastures here, okay? And I feel like it's a leveling up. Maybe this is maybe this is the inside of a tower card. Maybe it could be. But it's something like that. It's a big change in your life. And it is a situation that I think you're unable to, as yet, really see what's on the other side of it, okay? Now, Spirit's mentioning something about your kitchen. I don't know if you're redoing the kitchen or if you're in your kitchen, but there's something going on in the kitchen. I don't know if you left the stove on or something like that, but you're being told to I don't know, look in the kitchen or think about the kitchen, remember the kitchen, right? Something like that. Maybe we're talking about renovating the kitchen. I don't know. But the Moon card, of course, is that dark, scary doorway. We're a little bit afraid. Why are we afraid? Because I can't see what's in there. I'm not going to put my hand into some random, hole in the wall or something like that, or like a hole in the ground. It could be anything in there. I could get bit. My hand could get stuck in there, My wife and I, she does tea leaf readings over at Ula Tea Leaf Readings here on YouTube. And we have a 4-year-old daughter. And sometimes my daughter will go to put her finger in something, like in the drain in the bathtub or something like that. And, and I tell her, well, don't put your body into things where you don't know what's in there, And then she's like, well, why? It fits. Yeah, but, what if it gets stuck? What if there's a spider in there and something bites you? And I'm not trying to scare her or anything, but it's kind of a practical thing. Don't put yourself into positions where you don't know what is there, right? And of course, it's all about context and relativity and things like that, because I think very often the very nature of existence is us being where we can't see anything. We're not sure of even the next moment in life. I'm aware, I think, anyway, it seems like I'm aware of what's happening right now, but I don't know what's going to happen in 1 second from now, 1 second from now, 1 second from now. The next moment is not guaranteed. Everything is unpredictable. Everything is kind of just chaos, So in a very sort of fundamental level, we're all, at every moment of every day, sticking ourselves into something that is dark and uncertain and unpredictable. Okay? And that, I think, it could become pathological, because then we become afraid of everything. And then we become afraid of the very existence of ourselves. We become afraid of consciousness altogether, right? But this card is kind of saying that, yeah, the future may be uncertain. There may be some fear. There may be a dark doorway in front of you. Okay? But sometimes we have to just step up and be the light. If with my daughter, and sometimes my daughter wants to run to the back of the house at night to get a toy or something. And she says, Daddy, come with me. It's scary back there. It's dark, right? It's middle of the night. Come back with me to the bedroom to get my toy. And so I'll be the one to kind of get up. I'll turn the flashlight on my phone, and I'll be in front and she'll be behind me, and we'll be creeping and looking around and having fun, But that's what you've got to do. That's what this card is all about. You've got to be that light. You're not going to know what's over there until you go. You're the light that's going to illuminate this situation. No one else is going to do it for you. And it really is the Emperor that has the will. I was going to say something else. That has the confidence to grab the torch and light it up and walk forward. You're the front of the line. It's kind of like Indiana Jones' Temple of Doom when they find that secret passageway in the palace, and he's there with the torch, and everybody else is sort of scared behind him. You've got to be the one to lead everybody through, even though you don't know where you're going. You don't know what's on the other side of that doorway, and you're probably freaking out a little bit too. Everyone's like lining up behind you and kind of saying, show us how to get out of here. Yeah. The Four of Wands in some ways is underneath the surface. This is kind of a feeling that you have, or something maybe a little unconscious. This is like, how to do it. You know how to get it done. I don't know what the situation is, but I feel that you know the solution to it. So you may not know what's on the other side of the doorway, but you know what it's going to take to get through the doorway and to lead everybody and pull everybody across this finish line. It could be that, the results are unknown and uncertain, and perhaps even unknowable until you actually get there and see what's going on. It's like you're traveling to a new land. It's like the fool is going out on this adventure and just sailing the boat around. It's going to land on an island somewhere. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know who's going to be there, what kind of animals, what kind of food, You're not going to know till you get there. But you understand what it's going to take to sail the ship, to get to that unknown place. Yeah. And in some ways, I feel like this is you having that weird awareness that you've already been prepared. Feels like you already have what you need to do it. So there's really nothing holding you back, essentially. Except I think, part of it is the Seven of Wands, because it's going to be tough. You're going to have to battle the elements. You're going to have to battle the resistance of other people. You're going to have to step up and do the majority of the work here. Okay? And I think I don't think you shy away from hard work. Okay? But it's kind of like with the Seven of Wands, it's like we want to know what we're fighting for. I'm not going to fight just to fight. I'm not going to go and struggle against overwhelming odds when I don't know what I'm working for. I don't know what I'm going to get at the end. It's like someone says, hey, come do all of this grueling work for me. And you say, yeah, sure. What's the pay? I'll tell you when you're done. And it's like, well, no. Is it going to be peanuts? Is it going to be a handshake or a high five? That's nice, but it's not going to pay the bills, So you kind of like to know what you're fighting for. What all of this, you're willing to put in this tremendous effort. And I think that you're capable of just insane amounts of effort, But you've got to know, I think this is part of your Libra energy, you've got to know why. You got to know what is the return on that investment, because you're not dumb. You're not going to go and work a 12-hour day and then, here's time for your paycheck, and it's a subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club or something like that. But what is this fixed water energy? This is the only water energy that we see, and it's a fixed feeling. Okay, it's like you're stuck in a particular emotion here, and I don't know if it's related to this Pisces energy. We could be talking about some water sign people generally here. I think, if anything, it would be like Pisces and Scorpio. But I think that it's really it's sort of the idea here that we feel a certain way about this, and it's hard to move ourselves from this. It's almost like we've already convinced ourselves what to expect. Or you already have almost, I almost feel like you've already judged this situation a certain way. And so it's hard for the Emperor, the fire energy, right, to kind of move this water out of the way, to be like, okay, fine, I'll let go of this feeling, And maybe we've already sort of condemned something. We've already made that value judgment on something. And says, I know how I feel about this. I know this is bad, right? Or unpleasant. We've made that value judgment. And when we do that, I think ahead of time, because this is sort of like yesterday, or this is beforehand, I think it makes it difficult for us to then get up and say, okay, fine, I'll grab the torch and I'll lead us all through this. And it's almost like you're doing it and you're going to get up and you're going to grab the torch and you're going to bring everybody with you. But it's kind of like, don't say I didn't warn you. It's kind of like we're still in this value judgment. And it's just like, yeah, we can go do it. But, you'll see that I'm right. You'll see that this is, this is what I've been telling you it is. And maybe you are right. Maybe. Right? But maybe you're going to be surprised. I think that this is not what you think it's going to be. And so we have that energy of like, okay, fine, I'll take you back there. And you're fully expecting it to be something. When you get there, I think you're going to be like that. You're going to be stunned that it's not going to be what you thought. The Three of Pentacles in the future position, I think this talks about the cooperation. I think this is really also talking about how your will, your heart, and your mind have to be on board. And I'm starting to wonder if with the Prince of Cups, if this is a certain value judgment that we've made that we don't want to budge from this. But then we kind of, when we get to the Three of Pentacles and when we get to the Princess of Swords, it's kind of like your mind is starting to be like, hey, wait a minute. Now the evidence is telling me one thing, but I still feel a certain way about this. So there's some discord between your heart and your mind. New data is coming in that might change. You might have a change of heart. You might judge this thing differently at the end. Okay, because you're perceiving something new, and it's kind of like there's some like cognitive dissonance. You're just like, wait, no, it's this, but why am I seeing this? The heart and the mind are having a little bit of a battle there, right? And I think the more you progress on this path, the more you're going to see things coming together, and things are going to start working. And this is kind of like maybe even the team starts to come together, and you just think, wow, this actually is a lot better than I thought. But there's still that part of you, that fixed water energy that's saying, no, I don't want to believe it, right? But this, I think, is the need for the cooperation. I think that whatever you're doing is going to bring you a lot of recognition as the person that kind of brought things to a close, or that, it really does feel like you're the captain of a ship and party has just kind of given up. But everybody else is kind of saying, we need you to be the captain and take us to that distant shore, And I think you're sort of begrudgingly saying, fine, I'll do it, but I'm telling you, it's going to be no good. And then you're getting everything together. You're starting to tell people what to do and hoisting the sails and doing the jibs and whatever. I don't know anything about sailing. Getting the oars in the water, maybe. And the more you do it, kind of seems like, wow, like everybody's working together. This is nice. Yeah, this is nice. Well, let's see where we're going. Let's see what else is going to happen here. We're going to now talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do the path of the serpent, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything, and it really does support the channel. It's important that we support all of our favorite YouTube tarot readers. I know I'm your number one favorite. I won't tell anybody. But let's support everybody that we care about and that we value. All right. Anyway, general energy now, we've got some very consistent fire energy, the Prince of Wands. This is kind of saying the more you get into this, the more you're going to start feeling it. And then it's just like, hey, I'm liking this. Like we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We can't wait to keep going. And now we're sailing the ship. We're the captain of the boat. And it's just like, yeah, you start to really kind of like get your mojo back, And I feel that this is now, it's almost like we've forgotten the bad mood that we are in over here. And now we're fixed in this excitement. Now we're fixed in this forward movement. And we're starting to see that everybody's sort of working together. We're starting to make progress. And we're thinking, yeah, we're going to get there. This is going to work. It's almost like the Prince of Cups thought it was a hopeless situation. And now now we're seeing the progress. Now we're starting to feel fired up. Okay, and it feels really good. The Five of Wands in the position of the environment does show that there are elements in your environment that you need to take control over. Okay, this is the card of kind of it's the card of fighting, honestly, but it's a card of strength, right? It's Saturn in Leo, and this is the card of Leo. Okay, we've got a lot of other signs represented in your reading. We've got Scorpio, we've got Pisces, we've got Aries, and then we've got Leo, and we've got more Leo energy here. So I wonder if those placements mean anything to you, just something to keep in mind. But with this Saturn in Leo, this is talking about how to show your strength and your leadership and your authority without having to bare your teeth. You know, it's kind of like showing your strength and your power by not displaying your power. It's not a vulgar display of power, right? It's more subtle, and it's almost like you prove your strength by being able to restrain that strength, so you're not losing your temper. I think that the situation might sort of lead you to some frustration. Okay. Especially when it kind of feels like we're in that Seven of Swords, like it's just a lot of work, you know. And with the Seven of Swords too, it doesn't feel like there's much cooperation. Well, that's going to change, but it kind of feels like you're the one doing all the work and nobody's really. It's kind of like it's you, and then everybody else is against you. It's like, can we please work together? You know, you're showing your leadership by restraining your power. True strength means you don't always have to show it. Okay. And so be careful that you're not dealing too harshly with people. Yeah. The next card is really one of my favorite cards, and it is the Fool. I think it's everybody's favorite card because it means so many wonderful things. It could mean some bad things too. Every card has light and shadow. The Fool could literally be a fool. And I think that's really, that's something that goes back to our Prince of Cups. Because the Prince of Cups kind of is like, you already know what this is. You already have this value judgment on something. And you're going to go ahead and move forward with it anyway. But it's kind of like, when you get there, it's, I told you so. I told you it was going to suck. I told you it was going to be terrible, right? But the Fool is kind of, the Fool is that, that realization when you get there and we realize we were wrong, and it's kind of like you got the egg on your face, and you kind of start to get a little flush, you're a little embarrassed, because it's like, oh man, you know, now I kind of feel like an idiot because I was so certain that this was going to be terrible or whatever, that now I'm proven wrong. And I don't think you like to be proven wrong, Libra. I don't. None of us do, really, you know. But I think this is sort of the obstacle. We have to be okay with being wrong. And it's almost like we have to look at life as being, okay, I have these fixed beliefs and these fixed ideas. I want to be proven wrong. Okay? I think you like to be proven wrong intellectually, but not emotionally. Does that make sense to you? You have a value judgment on something, and it's not easy for you to get out of that. But when it comes to the facts, the data, your theories about the world or about life or about how to do something, you're all for learning and getting new ideas. But I think that the Fool here, one aspect of the Fool, and the reason why it's in the position of sort of what we don't want, is because it's sort of the embarrassment or the feeling of folly, right? When and the embarrassment of the emotional energy. Okay, when we realize that maybe we judge something or someone incorrectly. Yeah. So one aspect of the Fool, but I think the Fool on the other hand is sort of the transcendence of this difficulty altogether. It's kind of like getting to the other side of this doorway and realizing that, one, that you enjoyed yourself, that this was actually a pretty fun process. And realizing too that, hey, this is a new beginning now for me or for us, right? Whoever's with you. And I think that in a real way, sometimes this card is about us realizing that we don't know everything. Yeah, that sometimes we can be wise in our own conceit, or we can realize that how does the saying go, right? The wise person is aware of their own ignorance, or something like that. I can't remember the quote, but I kind of feel that's what the Fool is here, and it's about us kind of accepting that this situation is not what we were feeling it to be, but I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised about about how it's proving us wrong in that way. And it's a challenging thing. Again, your heart and your mind are going to be kind of at odds with each other. But I think facts is facts. The Princess of Swords here is ready for new things, wants to learn, right? And this is kind of you sort of land on that distant shore, and now you're leading the expedition onto that shore, and that's an unknown sort of place too, right? That we don't know what's on the other side of this journey, but it's something that you're going to have to sort of investigate and learn and adapt to, and really optimize it. Let's take a look at the mystery card. Okay, I don't know who the people are. I don't know if maybe you are sailing a ship. Maybe the ship is the family. Maybe the ship is the business, or the group of friends, or your spiritual community, or whatever it might be. It could be something at school. With a lot of possibilities, but it's your leadership that's going to get through this. Okay, that's going to bring everybody through this. Let's look at this mystery card now, and let's all put our predictions down in the comments. I feel like it's going to be some very good water energy, because we've sort of already made up our hearts about something. I want to see that we're letting our heart change. We're changing our feelings towards something. I want to see some very positive water energy. 5 of Pentacles. That's okay, because this shows that you're moving. This shows that things are changing, right? This shows that we're willing to take ourselves out of our comfort zone and do the difficult work. And it's kind of it feels like an inconvenience. It feels like you'd rather be inside where it's warm. But you say, fine, I'll lead the expedition. I'll get out of my quarters, I'll go to the bridge, and I'll start driving the ship, So I think this is good. I think also there is that investment for you, because it does feel like you're being asked to do a lot of work. There's no guarantee of what the reward will be, but you're taking that risk. You're investing your energy. I think there is a financial component here. And I think this card's kind of saying you got to spend a little bit to make a little bit, okay? And it speaks to the 7 of Wands, I think, very much, which is like having all of this work to do, not knowing if you're going to get paid for it. So why do the work, Well, this kind of shows somebody doing the work, and it doesn't seem that they're benefiting much from it right now. They're walking away from what could be a very hot meal and a comfortable bed in here. And they're kind of, they'd rather be limping through the snow than in here just being comfortable, taking it easy, right? So we're doing the difficult thing, sort of having faith and confidence and trust in the universe that the reward will be proportionate, to the effort that you're putting in. Okay. Anyway, we are going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Libra are on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.